Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. I just wanted to address, I was told that person's parked in an empty lot close by, but our parking lot is actually the lot right across from the entrance. So if you would feel more comfortable with moving and come and parking in our lot, I'll give you a few minutes to go and do so. All right? I don't know where the lot is that you guys parked. Where the parliament is? Not sure.
Raz, raz.
Hi, good afternoon, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to our synagogue. If it's your first time being here, welcome. We glad you guys could make it. So we are ready to start now, and I'm going to be introducing Marie Reynolds. She is on our choir, and she will be the one to introduce Jakub. All right?
Good afternoon, everybody, and Shabbat Shalom. So I've been given the distinct honor and privilege of introducing Jakub. Before I do, I want to share a little bit about how this concert came to be. So last year, Maxine, who is Polish and has lived in Jamaica for 17 years, was participating or working the tall ship regatta in Europe. And she and Jakub were doing the same shift from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning, the night shift. So they had a lot of time to talk. And just as an aside, the tall ships are the same kinds of ships that the Portuguese Jews sailed on to come to Jamaica, Spanish and Portuguese Jews. And so they were talking, and she discovered what he did. And she thought it would be a brilliant idea for him to come to Jamaica to perform for us and to share with us his gift and his talent. And so here they are today. So Jakub is a distinct musician, a doctor of arts, a doctor of economics, an assistant professor at the Department of Music Theory and Didactics at the Academy of Arts in Szczecin. An organist at the synagogue Pestalozzistrasse in Berlin, and a member of the board of the Spot on Art Foundation, which is a foundation dedicated to reviving the liturgical music of the Reformed Jewish movement. As a musician, he's active in the field of Jewish organ music. And in February 2018, he participated in the first concert in the post-war history of Warsaw synagogues, during which he performed works in the Notchik synagogue. In the same year, he initiated the annual festival Jewish Music Days in Szczecin. Since 2020, he's been constantly cooperating with the Jewish community in Berlin as the organist of the Pestalozzistrasse synagogue, the only synagogue in Germany which continues the 19th century musical tradition of Reformed Judaism to this day. With an artistic program called Music of the New Synagogue, he's performed at several concerts in several cities in Poland, Germany, Israel, and now here in Jamaica. The subject of his doctoral thesis was the organ solo works of Jewish composers of Central Europe in the years 1810 to 1938. And he has recorded 3 music albums which are available on Spotify. He will be playing music, wonderful pieces created and played on Shabbat and holidays using old synagogue melodies with contemporary musical language. And the most important piece in this program will be the premiere of a piece, his only known melody, which is based on that of cantor Maya Leoni, who was possibly born in Poland, but spent the last years of his life here in Kingston, Jamaica, and for whom this is the only musical piece that has survived to this day. So we're in for a wonderful treat, and I invite you to welcome Jakub Stefek.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Shabbat Shalom. Before I will play this beautiful instrument in this synagogue, I would like to say just few sentences about the context of the music, because as I believe, to understand the context is a very crucial thing to understand also the music. So first of all, what we will be able to enjoy today, everything is based on old synagogal melodies and old synagogal chants. These melodies roots in antiquity. Up to the 19th century, they were passed from the master to his pupils only oral. In the 19th century, they have started to be written down. And there were two reasons of that. The first reason was the Jewish Enlightenment movement, the Haskalah. So that was an idea of social change, and within that social change, also the change of the liturgy, and what is the most important for us today at the concert, the change of the liturgical music. These old synagogal melodies that are mentioned started to be connected with the modern musical language, so that all people who came to the synagogue could enjoy, could taste, and also could understand the music. It was not only the melody, but also the accompaniment of the organ and also the performance of the choir. And today on the concert you will hear how different melodies are mixed with the Romantic style, with the Baroque style, and also with the modern style, our contemporary music. Because what we can do today is to follow those steps from the 19th century, to combine the old synagogal melodies with our musical language. So despite all the tragic history in the 20th century, this music tradition can be still alive. And I'm particularly happy and honored to be here in Kingston because, as it was mentioned before, the new chapter of our work is now written, and we will hear for the first time a new piece composed on the old melody, but with the modern musical language. The second reason, I mentioned the first reason of the writing down of the synagogal melodies. The second reason was because in the 19th century in Europe, they have started to conduct a research about the music. Everybody was interested in folklore. Everybody was interested in the roots. So to explore that, to make a research, it was necessary to write down everything what they could find. So, because of that, up to this day survived big anthologies of Jewish music, created by different composers, different cantors, and different researchers all over the world. In Europe, most of them didn't survive the last big war, and of course, the Shoah. But still, we are going to archives all over the world, and we are finding this music sometimes hidden in different places. So what my work since few years consists of is to find, to play, because I am the musician, but also to revive the music and to talk about it. Because I truly believe that it's important, because we can learn a lot from our history. So, for the first piece, the cantor Michael Hilton will join me. We will play Shalom Aleichem, and the second piece will be the piece by Louis Lewandowski, the 19th century chief cantor of Berlin. He composed 5 beautiful organ preludes for different holidays, and the prelude which I'm going to play is the prelude for the Rosh Hashanah. You can imagine the huge synagogue and Oranienburger Straße in Berlin. You can imagine the big organ instrument and the big choir. And up to this day, at the Synagogue Pestalozzi Straße, we are continuing those traditions, and this very piece is played by me at the beginning of the new year.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malchei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malchei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Setchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So that was Louis Lewandowski, 19th century, Germany, Berlin, and his Fest Prelude for the Rosh Hashanah. What we've started to do 3 years ago is to ask different composers to inspire themselves by synagogal music and to create their own compositions. From the archive in New York, we got a manuscript of the songs by Abraham Lichtenstein. Abraham Lichtenstein was a cantor in a Jewish community in my city, in Szczecin, in Poland. It was in the mid-19th century. We got only few of his handwritten melodies, but we created a set of pieces in different versions for the choir and the organ, for the choir and cantor and the organ. But later on, I asked the composer, look, when I'm traveling, I cannot take the choir with me. You have to write also the solo version. So he did so. And that's why now I can take the music of the cantor from Szczecin all over the world. And I'm really pleased that after today's concert, I will be able also to take the Jamaican cantor music also with me to another concerts. So now will be the 3 melodies of Abraham Lichtenstein, rewritten by a Polish composer, Adam Porębski. These are quite piano pieces, so there will be a need a little to concentrate to hear everything, but you can taste also this version of the synagogal music, which aim is to create a special atmosphere, to pray, to connect with God, but also in these piano pieces, to be all together. So it was Abraham Lichtenstein, 19th century, also from Szczecin, and the music composed by Adam Porębski from Wrocław, also in Poland. So there was a bit of modern languages, and I want to share with you that the information was already told. The Synagogue Pestalozzi-Straße is the only one now in Germany and also in Central Europe that still keeps the tradition of the choir music and the organ music on every Shabbat and every holiday. So it's quite a unique feeling, because when you play the organ, you think, oh, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, there were plenty of synagogue like this, with the organ instrument, with the choirs, with the cantors, highly educated. And now we are almost the only ones who are keeping this tradition alive. I'm pretty sure that in your everyday life, you are also people who are keeping some traditions alive. It doesn't have to be the music. It doesn't have to be anything in public. But I think that everybody, sometimes on your own, everybody is keeping some traditions. And we can learn from it, and we can develop ourselves. And then we can invent also new things, but always based on the tradition. So that's the idea also of this music. What's going to be the next piece is the Pastorale Hebraic of Gershon Efros. Gershon Efros was born in Poland, but when he was 19, he emigrated to USA, and he was living in New York and died there. And he left the massive work, the 7th volume anthology of synagogal music. These are hundreds of pages of music, but the only one piece is for the solo organ, based, of course, on the synagogal melodies. So we prepared it last year for the several concerts, and I will be happy to share it also with you. Pastorale Hebraic by Gershon Efros. The next piece will be the short one, an organ prelude of Salomon Sulzer. Salomon Sulzer was a composer in Vienna, a Jewish cantor, a chief cantor in Vienna, and he started the reform of the Jewish music, of the synagogal music. All the cantors from all over the Europe came to Vienna to study with him, and these melodies of him are, let's say, very precise way, very romantic. People who hear that for the first time, they can have a mistake and they say, oh, what a nice Mendelssohn piece, Felix Mendelssohn. What a nice Brahms prelude, Johannes Brahms. But no, it's Salomon Sulzer. There are only few moments that you can recognize a Jewish melody. But you can imagine how this new attitude was inspiring for the next generations. So the music tradition has developed into more, into a new musical language. There were even some ideas to create the Jewish organ instrument, the typical Jewish organ instrument. But because of the Kristallnacht pogrom in Germany and later on, of course, the Shoah, it was never developed. But still we are thinking what the typical Jewish organ should sound like. And the one composer, it was Arno Nadel, said, the organ is neither Christian, neither Jewish. It depends what music you are playing. So this organ here in the synagogue are, of course, the Jewish organ. But I'm happy that also I created some Jewish organs all over different places by playing, of course, the Jewish music. And then now I will speak shortly about the next two pieces. The first one is Hisorari by Anna Maria Huszcza. I asked Anna Maria Huszcza, Polish composer, to write this piece based on a melody of Louis Lewandowski, and it appeared also on my solo CD, The Echo of the Temple. The CD was released in November last year. She got 3 big volumes of synagogal music, and I asked her to choose only one single melody. So she spent several weeks of listening, of playing different melodies, and she chose one piece. And she created a piece very deep rooted in the tradition. So you can imagine, you can hear the Baroque style. You can hear a small prelude and a small fugue. It's quite powerful. The piece is not long, but it's quite powerful. And the next one piece I like very much. It was composed by Jean Alain. In Paris. He was an organist of the great synagogue in Paris, and he died during the Second World War. He was shot on the battlefront. And later on, his sister discovered his notes, and she combined them and created the piece. The name is the L'An Liturgique Israélite, so the Jewish liturgical year. And there are different melodies for the different holidays. So you can hear, of course, the Kol Nidre, the most significant melody, one of the most significant melodies for the opening of the evening of Yom Kippur. But you can also hear the one moment with the shofar. Shofar is an ancient instrument, the horn, which is played, which is heard during the New Year's or during the Rosh Hashanah and also Yom Kippur. So you can see, you can hear all different volumes of the organ, and also all the instruments and all the sounds the organ can produce. So we will go into those two pieces, Anna Maria Huszcza and Jean Alain, and later on we will finish the concert with the Meir Leoni, but I will tell also a few words about him later. So in this moment we came to the last part of our concert. I will be happy to perform the melody of Meyer Leoni more than once, because for the first time you will hear that in the original version with cantor Mikkel Hilton singing the Yigdal, and later on, immediately after, I will start the new piece. The new piece is quite modern music, so it will be good to present first the melody and the text, of course. The text is the most important. And then we will follow and we will develop the idea of the melody and of the music. About the cantor Meyer Leoni, you can read on the internet. There is even a Wikipedia profile. So he was born probably in Poland or on the territories where now the German-Polish border is going on. So as far as it's not determined precisely, we can say that he was probably born in Poland, and that I like that in particular. But later on he moved to London, and he was a cantor in a great synagogue of London, and he was also a very famous opera singer there. And for the last 10 years of his life, he moved here to Kingston in Jamaica, and here he is buried, and his gravestone is still present at the cemetery. So maybe after the concert or tomorrow or within the next few weeks, you will be able also to walk down there to find his grave and to think a little. Maybe you will still hear his melody. It's the only one survived melody that is attributed to him with no doubt. So that's why Ignacy Zalewski from Poland entitled his piece, His Only Known Melody. And I am very happy, very thankful for being able to be here with you. I would like especially to thank Maxine Gavron, or she's standing there, to make all of that possible, and also to make our trip to Jamaica so wonderful, and getting knowledge and getting taste of the true Jamaica. It was an unbelievable journey which will end on Monday. And I'm also very glad and very thankful to all the staff here at the synagogue and all the community. Thank you very much for a warm welcome, and thank you very much for inviting us all to be here today. Usually I end my concerts with a sentence that, in my opinion, we all have to do something in life. It's not enough to enjoy, to eat, to sleep, and to do only the things that we do in usual, but it's all about making something more. For me, it's the music, but for all of you, it can be different things. But after 2 weeks in Jamaica, I learned that it's also important to enjoy. It's also important to sleep. It's also important to eat good food. It's also important to make all those things which make us happy. So all those pieces are not only the music for me, but also nice memories. And I'm very happy that I will leave this concert and leave Jamaica with another very pleasant memory. For that, I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you very much.
יגדל אלוהים חי, ישתבח, ניצב ואת היתר מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד, ייחודו, לגמרי וגם אין סוף, לאחדותו. אין לו תמות הגוף, ואין הגוף, לא רק אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נשא, יורא גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתן אוהל, ענשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שאור, נביט ומטביט אל תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעם אוהל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחריף האל ולא ימיר, דתו עולמים לזולתו, צובע דעה סתרנו, מנמיד לסוף דבר בקדמותו. גומל איש חסיד כמפעלו, נותן רשע כרישתו, לקראת לקץ ימים משיחנו, לפדות מחקקת ישועתו. מתים וכאל ורוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, אלוהי לססחר לאיכרים, הינם דסודתל ותורתו. מתים וכאל ורוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו, ורשע לססחר לאיכרים, הינם דסודתל ותורתו.
Wow, what an afternoon. What a delightful way to spend an hour on a Shabbat afternoon. You've taken us on a tremendous journey across centuries, across lands, all the way to here in Kingston, Jamaica. Thank you so much, Jakub. You have reminded us of our heritage, our musical heritage with the organ and the choir. And it's profound to know that we're one of the few synagogues that still maintain that tradition. Thank you for reminding us of that. And also, I don't think we'll ever sing Yigdal on a Friday evening again without remembering. I had no idea that this was a melody from one of our chazans, the chazans of our community. Thank you for expounding our knowledge. Thank you for not entertainment, but an afternoon of worship and connection and meditation. Thank you for sharing your wonderful talent with us. And remember that Jakub has 3 albums on Spotify if you want to hear more and experience more and indulge more in the connection that's created by his music. Thank you. And we invite you not to leave right away. We invite you to share. We have refreshments in the Heritage Center next door, soup and sandwiches and other refreshments. So please stay and you'll have a chance maybe to even talk with Jakub and to connect with each other. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful, I want to say audience, but I think it's more than that, a congregation, as we have shared in this beautiful liturgical music this afternoon. Shabbat Shalom. Have a good afternoon.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
That was beautiful, beautiful singing as well. I had no idea that Yidal had a connection to Jamaica. That's because we sing that too. Yeah, we sing it too.
I did not know that.
You have to, there's a suggestion that even the opening melody of the yeah, so
It is related.
it's related to it. It was a suggestion that we only may have.
That's a good feeling.